Hi, my name is Kai Willis, and this is my time capsule for 3D Design Spring 2021. As for my inspirations, I chose 3 of my favorite artists at the moment. First is Miles Johnston, a surrealist artist and instructor at the Swedish Academy of Realistic Art. Next is Matas Martinaitis, who is also an illustrator and creates a lot of dark, surrealist pieces. Finally, I chose Salvia, who is an Instagram performance artist who does a lot of really different art. I included her Instagram handle. The first project that we did this semester was the wire project, where I created my wire toothbrush. This project came out to be around 12 inches by 3 inches by 2 inches and is made exclusively out of steel rebar tie wire. This process took me about 10 hours to complete. For the base and for the tip, I used a jig, which I had never used before, so it was definitely a learning experience, but I managed to make it pretty accurate. For the main bristle head, it took me a few different tries, but what ended up working was creating a platform by cutting off the tip of the brush and using that as a base to secure the bristles. I was pretty impressed with the outcome. I could have probably added a little bit more detail to the base of the brush, but the tip took me quite a while to complete because it took me many tries. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. Next is the cardboard fabrication project. This project came out to be exactly 42 inches by 42 inches by 42 inches. And for this, I used cardboard, fishing wire, hot glue, painter's tape, acrylic paint, and spray paint. For this process, I first started out with doing a little bit of research. My piece is inspired by a French artist called Eric Ferber, who created 55 different cubes out of cast steel. I like the idea of this dodecahedron suspended inside of a cube shape. I started out with making a maquette, which is basically a prototype and is a fraction of the size of my final piece, so I used it to scale up the different lengths. At the top is a picture of me cutting out some cardboard for my suspended piece. This is probably my favorite project that I did this semester. It came out really good and I love the sleek planes. It kind of looks like a washing machine, but I'm all in all really happy with this. Our final project this semester was our plaster armature project, where I created the quadrupus. This piece came out to be 18 by 13.5 by 13.5 inches. It's made out of styrofoam, wood, hot glue, chicken wire, steel rebar tie wire, and plastic. Similar to the last project, I started out with making a maquette. I took some clay and started messing around with it until I got a few different shapes that I thought I could turn into my final piece. I ended up on choosing this piece because I thought it was the most dynamic and it kind of reminded me of the aliens from The Arrival. I took a foam ball and some wood that I had laying around the garage and I glued those together to create the main shape. Then I took some chicken wire and steel rebar tie wire to create the main skeleton of the piece. Next, I took plaster gauze and wrapped it around like a mummy, and then slathered on plaster to create the smooth shape of the quadrupus. Finally, I wanted to add some texture on the bottom, so I took some plaster in a piping bag and made some bumps on the bottom to mimic tentacles. This is the outcome of the project. I'm really proud of this one. I think that it's really cool and the bumps on the bottom create an awesome texture and it's really unique. All in all, I'm really happy with the pieces that I created this semester. I learned so much from time management to new skills that I can add to my portfolio. I'd like to thank Lance for being such an awesome professor and always helping me out even when I wasn't around. Thank you.